I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Andrew Patterson. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or commentaries, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Now, this is a film that I very much enjoy, I very much love, and I think, to me, I would say it became one of my favorite comedies, at least top 10. I'm not saying that's the way for you, but it is the way for me. Because I remember seeing the trailer for this back in the day and going, okay, kind of an interesting idea, you know, simple but effective, a couple buddies, something, it's relatable. You and a buddy want to go get something to eat. There's a certain place you want to go to. And all crazy stuff that happens. As in the tradition of these wee comedies like the Cheech and Shaun movie, Up in Smoke, Cheech and Chong's next movie. You take like a simple idea and just what crazy situations they get into. It's from the director of Dude, Where's My Car, Danny Leiner, who sadly has passed away. I didn't realize he passed away, but sadly he has, which sucks. But yeah, rest in peace to the Danny Leiner, because I like Dude, Where's My Car, and I love this film. I will say that the DVD as well as the Blu-ray, I have the Blu-ray over there, but just figure I'd show this. And these two are great in it. I'll get to that in a minute, but even the DVD, it's nice that they put some effort into it, because there's 3 commentaries. Really, although really the one to watch is John Cho, Kal Penn, and the director all together in the same room. That's a fun commentary. There's deleted scenes. There's a 10-15 minute interview session where they're with Bobby Lee from Mad TV, who has a podcast Tiger Belly. That was a lot of fun, because Bobby Lee was pretty funny interviewing them while they're driving around the city. I'm trying to think. Oh, and the menus. Even the menus, like if you stay on the menu, they act like they're driving, they're talking to the viewer, and then as time goes on, like one's getting more mad. Why don't you press something? Hey, maybe they're out of the room. You know, maybe they take an important phone call. Well, all you have to do is press a button. There's only 4 buttons there. So again, I like the extra attention they put into the DVD itself. I think it's really nice. I wish these two guys did commentary for the sequels. I don't know why they didn't. But that would have been nice to hear their thoughts on it. And I like all 3 of the Harold and Kumar movies. Although I do think this is the best one. Then I would say the 3rd one, then the 2nd one. But I like all 3. And I like all 3 because these two, John Cho and Kal Penn, I think they had great chemistry with each other. I think they worked with each other very, very well. And especially at the time, it was interesting that you had an Asian guy and you had an Indian guy, and they were together as the stars, and usually they were the supporting role. But here they got to shine. Even the trailer kind of went into that. That Asian guy from American Pie, and that Indian guy from Van Wilder. And John Cho would go on to do stuff like Searching, fantastic movie. Kal Penn, for a while, worked with the White House, believe it or not. He was on this TV show House MD for a bit. He was in Superman Returns, one of Lex Luthor's guys. I doubt they'll make a fourth Harold Kumar. If they did, I'd be open to it, because I really do enjoy these characters. I like the way they work together. And lo and behold, it's an Asian guy, but it's not for identity politics or all that shit. It's for, these are who they are. It does a smart way of detailing how some people view racist tendencies to them, but it's not preaching, it's not a fucking seminar, it's still an entertaining, fun, goofy, stupid comedy. And these characters are characters, they're flawed characters, they each have an arc that they go through throughout the movie. John Cho is a guy who, these other guys, Ethan Embry from, oh, what's the movie? I know the movie, it's The House, Seth Green. What the hell? I liked the film too. Driver Love Hugh was Can't Hardly Wait. Ethan Embry from Can't Hardly Wait. This other guy, usually in the film, they would be the stars. They pass the work off to John Cho. He's a guy who's very in his shell. He's insecure. He's nervous. He doesn't want to talk to this hot lady, Maria, who lives in his apartment complex because he's nervous. And throughout the film, he regains and he becomes a more assertive guy. And then you have Kal Penn's character. And that's kind of the thing in the sequel. I like the second film, but there's not really much growth. They try to, where Kal Penn tries to get more serious, to fall in love with this girl, and Kal Penn gets a bit of a love story. So they try in that one, but I just don't think that emotional connection is as strong as the first movie. And I think the third film did that a little bit better, as friends who have grown apart and they get back together again. If you hear something, it's my neighbor's roosters and such. But you have again John Cho, who's very much about the work. You have Kal Penn, who's the slacker, but he's very smart. And his dad wants to be a doctor, but he doesn't want to be. And that's what I mean, ever since back in the day, I'm like, just the title alone, it's something that is unique, simple. You're surprised no one else has done it. Like, hey, they're just going to this place, fast food, something we could connect with, we could relate to, and all the crazy adventures that happens, just them getting to this simple goal. And I think that's another thing where the sequel kind of went down a little bit, is it took away the simplicity, and it's like Guantanamo Bay, and they meet the President of the United States, and it just tried to be so big. And I'm fine with it being outrageous. I mean, the third film is outrageous. The third film, they pretty much meet fucking Santa Claus. But then, that's it. These films are not realistic. They're not meant to be realistic. They're escapism fun. I mean, in this movie, they ride a fucking cheetah. They ride a cheetah. I mean, it's not meant to be realistic. And that's the thing with these comedies back in the day, is that they're comedies, but they're also fantasy comedies, if you think about it. And I don't know if they really do that nowadays, where you have those comedies that's pretty much fantastical. Like, Do Where's My Car, from the same director, that's a comedy, but it's a fantasy as well, because that deals with an alien device. And even going back to like Cheech and Chong's next movie, by the end, Cheech and Chong, or Tommy Chong and the other character Cheech Marin played, they get abducted by a fucking spaceship. take the space coat, man, it'll blow your mind. Ah, then if you see Cheech and Chong's next movie, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm not sure they really do that nowadays. Maybe that'd be considered too cringy or whatever, but that was kind of the fun of like what's going to happen next. It goes at a fast pace. It's only an hour and 20 some minutes. And like I said, John Cho and Kal Penn, they work so well together. They play off each other so well. And that's why I do enjoy the sequels as much. Again, this is my favorite, but I enjoy the sequels as well. Because they work so wonderfully together. They play off each other very well. And there's still a lot of fun stuff in it. When they're getting high, they're watching this goofy commercial about don't smoke marijuana. And no! Very funny, over-the-top commercial. Again, that simple journey that's relatable. Granted, I don't like White Castle. I hate White Castle because it's the meat mixed in with onions. I don't like onions. I do not like onions at all. And the sliders, they all... And I didn't realize that. Because at... I think it was Walmart at the time. Like, they had these White Castle burgers, just like White Castle. You bought them, you make them at home. Right, that's not going to be as good as fast food anyway, but... I'm like, ew. Oh shit, I didn't realize, I didn't read the fine print that there's onions in each of these. I'm like, this is not my cup of tea. So I don't like White Castle, but again, it's, that, I don't know, just something about that simple goal was kind of refreshing and minute. That, again, despite all the crazy stuff that happens, there's still a sense of relatability you have with the characters. And just all the crazy stuff they meet. Like, they meet Anthony Anderson, who's in this burger shack. It's like, man, the more I think about that, I want to burn this place down. Or when they get to the college and they meet Bobby Lee from Mad TV. He has a podcast out, Tiger Belly. They meet these two beautiful ladies, but then they had too much tacos, and they play battle shits. And I'm not into the fart humor. The chuckles I got out of it was John Cho and Kal Penn's reaction. More so than the other crap. Well, literal crap. And again, this is a comedy you would not see nowadays. It's un-PC. It doesn't make anyone perfect. Everyone is flawed, including your 2 stars. So again, it doesn't go into the woke stuff. It's not a woke film. Like, this is how you handle that well. You got your titties out. Yeah, there's women with the titties, beautiful titties, especially in the college. He's looking, but he's trying to grab some. There's a point where they're driving, Kal Penn has to take a piss, and Jamie Kennedy from Scream, he pops out, and he just stands right next to Kal Penn. He's like, why are you standing next to me? You got all these people, these places here. What? You the king of the forest? Is this your special bush? You fucking tree hugger? Is this your special bush? That gets me to laugh every fucking time. There's a crazy raccoon that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Tommy Boy scene with the deer. And I also, that's the thing, I'm a sucker for road trip movies. I'm a sucker for buddy comedies. And this kind of like Tommy Boy meets Cheech and Chong. Like, that back and forth is kind of like Chris Farley and, well, maybe that's the wrong way to put it. But, like, you know, that friends, but antagonistic friends mixed in with a weed, you know, comedy movie and a road trip movie. Just, you know, stuff I'm a sucker for. And then they get the raccoon out. I gotta go to the hospital. No, you don't. Go there anyway. There's Ryan Reynolds. And for sure, people watching, why the hell is Ryan Reynolds in this? Because Ryan Reynolds was in Van Wilder, the star of Van Wilder, which Kal Penn, this guy was in. Yeah, this guy here. So, it's messing up. They either tire fix. There's a character named Freak Show, played by. Was it? Oh, they don't have his name here. I think it was. Was it Chris Meloni? Or Chris Mahoney? God, I forget. I can't remember his name. I remember a lot from TV, and you could barely recognize him with the makeup on. But he did a nice job here. It's like, yeah, you can go in, get a drink, get some water, fuck my wife, you just do that. And as they're walking, like, Kal Penn's like, did I hear right? Did he tell us we could fuck his wife? Even before that, on the ride up, where they're whispering, and Kal Penn's like, look at all that stuff that boils. And John Cho's like, are you kidding me? You think he can't hear us just because we're whispering? He'd hear every word. And then it's a wide shot. There's a pause, and then there's more of a pause, and then Freak Show goes, I heard everything you guys said. And you watch the two actors, and you see just... the little moments I noticed that are fun to watch. Neil Patrick Harris plays himself, or a dickhead version of himself. This is before he came out as gay. So he's like, oh, yeah, I want burgers too. Fur burgers. Let's forget that. Let's get some pussy. Lap dance. I've seen Neil Patrick Harris and Doogie Howser MD back in the day. It was interesting to see him play this role. Very different kind of role. Yeah, it's himself, but still off the beaten path. And Neil Patrick Harris, obviously he sparked something in other viewers because they brought him back in the second and the third film. Which led to the great line by John Cho. Did Neil Patrick Harris just steal my fucking car? Yeah. And that's the thing, it's hard to review a comedy because what you view as funny, I may not, and vice versa. But just, like I said, I love the camaraderie, the banter, the chemistry between the two leads. It does a take on racism, but it doesn't preach to people. It doesn't bang you on the head. It's something that's a part of life. It's part of these guys' lives, but not everybody's like that. And there are assholes, like the extreme assholes. It's just a fucking Mountain Dew. It's rated R. It doesn't hold back. Granted, this is the unrated version. But pretty much if you pick this up at DVD Blu-ray, it's going to be the unrated version. Or in particular, the Blu-ray. And let's see, this weird stuff, like there's a fucking cheetah that they ride. There's a bit where John Cho gets knocked out. He has this dream with, like, it's a cartoon, but it's him for real, but the background's a cartoon with cartoon burgers, and he's running to get Maria. Shoots someone. Oh, bullets. My only weakness. Now, granted, one flaw is it has really terrible green screen. Like, the budget was not there for the green screen. So, like, when they're riding the cheetah, or there's a bit where they're hang gliding, the green screen is absolutely terrible. It is awful. It is noticeably bad, and just takes you out of the movie. It is a terrible fucking green screen bit. Absolutely fucking awful. And if you hear pounding, it's because, as thin as these walls are, my neighbor's working outside. Maybe he's pounding his fucking roosters, I don't know. Well, that'd be a different kind of pounding. Damn, anyway, shitty joke. But yeah, when you watch this, and you see the characters, you see the bits of art they go through, so it's satisfying when John Cho finally steps up and he steals this stream asshole's vehicle and does something assertive for a change. And then, oh, what do these guys have? And then they play music like the stream guys, their music is like bands like Heart and things of that nature. Well, these guys are fucking posers. And then you get one of my favorite scenes, which is, again, that's talking about relatability. They start listening to the song Hold On for one more day. And they both start kind of mouthing the words, and they get into it. It's a great bonding moment where they're both singing and they're getting into it. Say goodbye. Things will go your way if you hold on for just one more day. Hold on. And again, it's a fun, smile-inducing moment because after all the trouble, after all the BS, this is them really bonding with each other and showcasing why they're friends, and sort of a reprieve of all the up and down roller coaster they've been going through this one night. And there's a lot of stuff I haven't mentioned. There's their buddies they're trying to go to this place, Hot Dog Heaven, and those actors I've seen and stuff. God, I forget the actors' names, but I've definitely seen them in other movies. One of them is from American Pie. The other guy, God, I can't remember where I've seen him in. They were fun to see. They're not in the third film, Sally, but it was nice to see them. They do come back a bit in the second film. And other stuff too. Anyway, they use a hang glider. Really bad effect. And it also features the shittiest, dumbest joke. They're hang gliding. Kal Penn laughs at something. It's a crop circle, but it's in the shape of a dick. Why? If there was a way, I would just edit that bit out. It wasn't funny. It was stupid. It's out of the blue. It's like, where did that come from? Just, it wasn't needed. If there's a worse joke, I would say that's the worst, lamest joke in the movie. It was like, kind of that reaction. Cringy. And then their satisfaction when they get to White Castle. Neil Patrick Harris pays for their food. And just the elation. And the way it's edited back and forth between the two. And them just enjoying, in their eyes, the best meal ever after their... But it's nice to see the characters you like get their reward, so to speak, for their journey. And then John Cho finds Ethan Embry and the other guy, and he's able to stand up for himself. It's a nice, like, yeah, get him moment. I always thought, John Cho is an underrated actor who deserves bigger, better roles. That's why I was so happy he got Searching, which he knocked out of the park, and sadly that film didn't do much, sad to say. And, things work out well, sets it up for a sequel. Although not the sequel you're thinking of, because the sequel sets up that they go to Amsterdam to see Maria, who's on a trip there, which is the girl John Cho likes. In the beginning, they decide to go, but then, no, that doesn't happen. It's like, part of me kind of wish they went to the trajectory of them going to Amsterdam, and I don't know. Again, I like the second film, but for me it's the weakest of the three. But I still have fun with it. Still get chuckles out of it. But this one, again, very fast pace, short running time. I think it's a gem of a comedy. It goes a lot of the un-PC route, but it's making fun of racism as well. It's making fun of the idea of racism. I mean, the very end, when the news report says, these two are still on the loose, these drawings are very accurate. And it shows the most stereotypical Asian and Indian drawings ever. And that's the thing, it's kind of making fun of racism. It's not preaching to the choir like what would happen in a movie nowadays. So I think it plays off both very well. It's a fun comedy that's goofy and silly and stupid, but there's a little bit underneath that able to appreciate as well. And like I said, John Cho and Kal Penn, they did a wonderful job together. They worked very well together, and big props to them. And this is a film I can watch anytime and still get chuckles and laughs out of. I like I said, the concept is... I don't know what it is about the concept that appeals to me. Just sometimes the simplest of concepts that I think has so many movies nowadays. It's big, over the top, save the world, save the universe. This fucking city's gonna blow up, all that jazz. That something as relatable as our goal is to get to this fast food. Something about this is appealing to me. And like I said, John Cho, Kal Penn, they're knocked it out of the park. And yeah, there's a part of me like if they do a sequel, it could be screwed up like Bill and Ted 3 did. But I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed the last, the 3 movies, so I can't help but think I'd be curious. I'd be more curious about that than Clerks 3. Fucking Kevin Smith. But, yeah. This became... I saw this when it came on DVD. I don't know if I rented it first or maybe I rented it first. I thought, well, I really enjoyed it, so then I bought it. And, yeah. Kick out of it. So with that said, rest in peace to the director. With this and Do Where's My Car, I thought he did a fun job with the material. Again, the green screen and not all the jokes work, but for the most part, I think it's very effective. It's fun, it's goofy, it's un-PC. It's not the type of comedy you would see nowadays. But it's also not a ton of gross-out gags either. Like, there's some, but it's not like wall-to-wall. Cum, snot, like all that stuff. There's little bits here and there, but it's not all the way through. And 2 wonderful lead performances. They made a very fun team. So with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.